Well, happy Monday and welcome back to another Monday Ministry Moment. We are so glad to have you with us. We are continuing our series in 1 Timothy called What I Wish I'd Known Sooner. And what a great series this has been, and I can't wait. And once again, you kind of called me out a couple weeks ago about finishing it out.
Bring it home run.
But yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be a good series. And anyways, so we got a couple questions we're going to run through today. We're going to ask Nathan and have a conversation about it. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it. So this was our second part of this collection, and you transitioned to these urges that Paul warned Timothy about, right?
Yeah.
But these were a little different.
Yeah. So they weren't like sinful urges or fleshly type urges, or like what I said from the stage, eating type urges, because I definitely have a proclivity towards Oreos, and I shared that story, and so it was good. But these are urges that I think the church and people kind of naturally gravitate towards with regards to the church. Yes. And if we're not really careful, really, I mean, if we're not at least aware and diligent to avoid them, it's so much easier to get sucked into them, And so it was really kind of this idea of like, as a corporate entity, as the body of Christ in a local area, as Paul was writing to Timothy, these are some urges that you need to be careful of and steer clear of. So
yeah. And the first one was quite challenging. I imagine a few people were a little uncomfortable. Go ahead and tell them about that.
So they really deal with who we're reaching out to and who we are engaging with. And I think the first one that I mentioned that I felt like was probably the most challenging for some folks is that we typically, we need to be careful not to only reach out to those who we feel like look like us, talk like us, dress like us, vote like us, earn money like we do. All of those things, I think, are things that the church can sometimes, if you look at the history books, you can see where they've maybe gotten that a little bit wrong. And, the first century church, which is what we try to focus our attention on and our model after, was hyper-focused on reaching everybody. Even the rulers, that was the second urge, but even the rulers that were just absolutely determined to kill off the Christians. They saw it as their duty. It was an imperative duty that they felt as the first century church to reach out to them and to pray for these leaders, these rulers, pray for their life, pray that they would have peace. And it was all because they felt this mandate to reach everybody. And then it kind of makes me go like, what's our excuse, right? Like, we don't reach out to them because they don't dress a certain way, or they don't have a suit and tie on when they walk in our door, or they have a tattoo, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of makes you go, really? That's really what we're gonna be known for in our world today. So yeah, it can have the potential to step on some toes if you're in that mindset of I don't want to reach out to that person because they don't look like me, but that's what we're called to do. So
I want to add something to that.
Yeah.
You did a very good job of speaking about all the taboo subjects without having to talk about them. Yeah. If you didn't catch that, he basically just said, you did a very good job of it, but I'm going to go a little bold for a second. Any and everybody. I mean, do you remember the quote that you used yesterday about the 1 yard from hell?
Oh, yeah, the C.T. Studd quote.
This quote, you guys.
Yeah, it was something the gist of, some people want to live within the sound of the church bell.
Yes.
Right here in a little Christian community, and, that's my Christian brother, and that's my Christian sister, and we're, and what he said was, I want to set up a shop 1 yard outside the gates of hell.
Yeah.
And reach people as they're, just before the cusp, before they're too far gone. Because the reality is, none of us are too far gone.
That's very true,
And so, he kind of said, I want to be in a place that I can impact the most people,
Yeah.
So.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the sermon, you guys.
Yeah.
Let's go into the last question.
Yeah.
But that's I love that question, by the way. So you concluded with a statement about the all-inclusive nature of the gospel.
Yeah.
Can you expound on that?
Super easy. The gospel is all-inclusive. I mean, it is.
That's fair. That's very fair.
There's just no other. I mean, like when you read John 3:16, the entire world, that means all. And if you look in the Greek, that means all. I mean, it's just that simple.
All is all.
All is all. I mean, but yeah,
Amen.
I don't know why, but for some reason we tend to slice and dice this down, and we put things into categories and qualifications, and all the while it's just God saying, I want everybody. Yeah. I want the whole world. I want every single person. And that's why I love Paul's approach to this, is that Paul, out of every person in the New Testament, I feel like has the most authority to speak on that aspect of that all-inclusive nature, because of the fact that he literally was the apostle to the Gentiles.
Absolutely.
And if it wasn't for him, it would be a totally different New Testament.
Yes.
Totally different New Testament. So yeah, it's the gospel's for all, and we need to make sure that we're about that work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Honestly, guys, we could sit here and talk all day about this.
Yeah.
This is seriously a really good topic. But for now, I would really encourage you, go back and watch this message.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good stepping on toes, but in the best kind of way, in a way that is challenging, in a way that is good, in a way that says, hey, we're supposed to be about Christ, right? And Christ to be about others. And so anyways, very good subject. Go back and watch it. Highly encourage that.
Yeah.
And we thank you so much for being with us today. Catch us next week. With another Monday Ministry Moment.
Yep.
Or better than that, hopefully love to see you inside this room.
Come in person. Come join us.
Yeah, Sundays at 10:30 in the room.
Yep.
And 10:22.
Yeah, 10:22-ish, 10:20. Yeah.
10:20.
Get here early online.
Yeah,
that's what we're
if
saying.
you're online, yes. Get here early. We'd love to talk to you, hang out with you, and give you little sneak peeks about different things. We love doing that. We want to do that for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love you so much. We can't wait to see you next week. See y'all.
Have a good one.